Alright, hello, I'm Chylli from Channel Chylli, also known as Try, and we are back with more depersonalization today. Gonna be continuing right where we left off here. So right now, due to the red mist, we're kind of going through a gauntlet of enemies now. Apologies, my throat's a bit sore here. So I may need to mute to cough every once in a while. The red mist by the fountain undulates and an eerie scene appears. Several phantoms suddenly appear, unfolding a sequence of events as if projected from a film reel. You witness a tall man attempting to confront three others who respond with aggressive retaliation. The trio's actions are marked by viciousness, suggesting a familiarity with violence. They show no mercy toward the tall man. Even though the tall man tries to defend himself, it appears he is drastically outmatched. They seize him up by the hair, repeatedly dunking his head into the water in a brutal spectacle. After enduring persistent torment, the tall man is on the brink of death. The trio ruthlessly places a peculiar mask on his face and then proceed to pierce his collarbone with a hook attached to the end of a chain. Without regard for his anguished cries, they drag him in the direction of the manor. As you approach the mist, a wave of grogginess washes over you as though the crimson fog is infiltrating your senses. Your thoughts become muddled and a sense of dizziness sets in. Amid the mist-shrouded land, you spot a crimson flower. Despite being veiled by the mist in a dazzling red hue, stands out. You feel a cold shiver run down your spine. As you detect a subtle moisture in your breath, you must have inhaled something. You inch closer to the flower, its hue as red as blood, exuding an unnatural allure. You find yourself captivated by it, almost as if irresistibly drawn in. When you regain focus, the red flower is no longer in sight. Glancing down, you find it growing from your chest, and you can almost feel its roots burrowing within you. As you inch closer to the red mist, your thoughts get sluggish and muddled as if your very essence is being drained away. You are hazy about everything. The mist before you turns and roils and turns into a crimson stone monument. Yet you detect a subtle moisture in your breath. You may have inhaled something. Numerous graves emerge one after another on the dark red stone monument, from which fresh crimson liquid oozes. That's when you notice that the entire monument is inscribed with people's names. Gioia stares at the monument and with a nostalgic tone she tells you that these are her parents' names. She then gazes up at the huge sky wheel, lost in thought. My father had a thing for stars. He wants me to promise to my mother. He wanted to build something that could reach the stars so could give her a starry sky of her own. Everyone thought he's just being super romantic, showing her his love in a big way. But my father, he wasn't just talk, he secretly prepared everything: blueprints, construction plans, personnel arrangements, all sorts of things. It wasn't until my mother's birthday, when all his preparations were done, that we finally found out about his plan. He wanted to build the highest Ferris wheel in the park. High enough that when she sat inside, it would be like she could reach out and touch the stars. You could picture Alicia working tirelessly for months, carefully keeping it all a secret to surprise Rosalind on her birthday. The Ferris wheel, it's a complicated thing. My father poured all his knowledge and skills. He poured his whole architect soul into it. He had to be there, making sure everything was going okay. But his health, well, it never really got better, so the project kept on getting delayed. But now his dream is finally realized. I'm so happy for him. Gioia smiles wistfully, her hand gently caressing the monument as if it were something fragile. Under her touch, the monument gradually melts away, eventually crystallizing into a white crystal-like shard. Just as you're about to make your next move, you hear the sound of a metal scraping the ground. Not far away, a group of crazy tourists stagger toward you. You annihilate all the delicacies on the dining table. They taste fresh, as if taken straight off of an oven. As you loll on the chair, hand on your satisfied belly, you feel not only your stamina has been restored, but that the dread on your mind gone, as if only for that. The angelic boy looks to be cupping something in his hands. Whatever it is, it's not there right now. You place the glass heart in the cupping hands of the statue, and with a clear click, the contraption is activated. Flickering streams of light travel through the veins on the blaster angel's arms before converging at the glass vessel in his palms. The heart's incandescence. The light from the glass heart fills yours with joy, a crude synthesized song with a delicate, delightful tune comes from the invisible player on the statue. The current noise punctuated it reminds you of the shabby electronic candles you saw at other birthday parties. The hero has returned with a heart of hope. Now wait for the magic to happen as foretold. The awful song comes to an abrupt stop as the glass heart's light flickers and fades. Seems the device is out of battery. It takes a while before you realize you've been cheated. Just when you're about to set off, a few shimmering stones at the statue's feet catch your attention. Some run-of-the-mill dolls staff the claw machines, the wrecked showcase next to them. However, it piques your interest as you find an ornamental strip behind the glass windows. You feel glad that no witnesses are present as you open yet another trash can to scan its contents. How would you explain to them that it's not a kink of yours otherwise? Among the smelly kitchen garbage, you find a shredded letter and a photo. The letter was a threat to Pasqualino, in which the anonymous sender asks the man to quit his job at the park and leave the town immediately or bear the consequences of unimaginable retaliation. On the photo are some torturing tools whose horrific designs give you nightmares. Among them, the look of a metal mask sends a shiver down your spine. You also find inside the trash can something useful, maybe. As you come closer to the red mist, your thoughts begin to slow and your mind grows sluggish and heavy. The red spout emerges from the floor in a blink of an eye. Its tender shoots enlarge and extend into disproportional branches and boughs with ripened fruits hanging from its twigs ready to be picked. The sanguineous luster makes you wonder and fear what has nourished the plant. Yet you detect a subtle moisture in your breath. You may have inhaled something. The disgusted fruit nourishes you and an unfamiliar wells from your mind. You hear the wail of an abandoned infant on a bench at the entrance of the cafeteria on Easter Day. You see Rosa, who adopted the child and later gave him his name, Pasqualino, a gift from Easter. Pasqualino spends his childhood at the town under Rosa's care. He knew everything about his own story but decided not to pay it too much mind. After graduation, Pasqualino volunteered to work for the park, for his place was his paradise. You finished savoring the memory and spit out the fruit seed into your palm, a white crystal shard. Trembling hands clench her chest. She looks as if she's struggling, even her steps become unsteady. Sorry, I'm not feeling well. Can we take a short break? It won't be long. Suddenly you recognize the white noise ticking in your eardrum. Tiny colliding flakes leak into your vision, eroding everything away with their haphazard patches devoid of existence. All your feeble senses strike the question into your mind: is the world as you know it? A sinister chill claws into your spine, an unspeakable oppression grasps at you in its tight grip, suffocating your breath and mind both like claustrophobia itself. Your helpless, terrorized eyes will open wide. The The materials and entities constructing the world are losing their place in the dimensions. Painstakingly, you lower your numb head. Every part of you is being decoded to what it had always been. The arms, hands, torso, legs, they're merely returning to their true form. String after string of lifeless numbers and characters breaking up like scattered jigsaw pieces. Consciousness is fleeting, logic crumbles as your train of thought breaks into discrete segments. A blinding flash, the remnant of your vision sees you disintegrating with the rest of the world, giving way to lines and columns of porograms before all ceases to be on a black screen. The girl lets out an agonized yet silent sigh, sits on her faintly lit hair, and a baseball cap whose texture shimmers with the luster of reptilian scales. Reptilian skins. Redirecting the glint back to the white ophidian scales that clad the illusory space like billowing walls. Her hand immenses inside the cluster of bubbles in front before pulling out a charting card. The black smoke rises from its surface, tells the girl how it has come to her. Another wasted, good thing I backed up the data. As if having received the command, the serpent entangled her other arm erects its prone position. A beam of white light takes form inside the stretched mouth and fires at the sizzling card. Now that you've squandered what I gave you, I'll have to format you to prevent data conflict. The glow dissipates, the card regains its pristine cobalt blue color. Make both ends meet next time and get your job done before the world explodes. I've invested more than enough energy on you. The card in her hand soon returns to its place inside a floating bubble amidst the bizarre radiance. In a white flash, the girl has left the room, leaving only her idle voice echoing behind. You'd better make it worth the price, otherwise I'll have your vessel instead. So yeah, this is timed and we just ran out of time here. You open your eyes and see everything familiar in the world you know. You failed. Though there are still some missing pieces to the puzzle, it seems you have yet to reach the end of the book. Your only chance to head back to the world of unsolved mysteries would be fulfilling her task. The feeling of having your soul scorched by that incandescent glare while disintegrated, however, is something you don't want to experience for a second time. Fortunately, your other experiences are much less painful and more informative. They will offer you great assistance during your next attempt. Alright, and then let's just get right back into it here. Hang on before we do that really quickly. Oh, I didn't get the trade I thought I got from that. Alright, and let's just get right back into it now. Alright, so let's see what we can do here. I thought my clues were supposed to carry over this time. One second, give me a second here. Okay, let me see here really quickly. Okay, maybe I really messed up here. I don't really understand because your clues are supposed to carry over into the next run you do. I guess I just did it wrong. I'm just really quickly going to skip through this here. Because this is going to take forever. I forgot to equip my gear here. Trying to just speed run through this so we don't have to waste so much time here. And there we go, got him very easily there. So right now we're just repeating what we did last time. Yeah, I'm a bit annoyed I have to redo all this, but it's whatever. At least not reading allows me to get through this thing much faster here. Alright, we're nearly back to where we were before. Okay, so you're supposed to click retry there. And now we get to retain a lot of our clues here. Alright, time to remember which of these are vital to do. Maybe I'll just use a guide so I can get through this without having to remember everything. Whoops, accidentally clicked off the game there. You know, I think I can just reload if I don't like the results I get. Like, yeah, that was really unnecessary, so we can just load back here. Okay, so these two will cost time here. So it's gonna be mostly the same, but we're gonna cut out some unnecessary actions we took the first time around. Alright, let's see here. I got to re-equip my items, but that should be fine, honestly. Alright, now let's get into this further now. I am occasionally glancing at a guide, but it's based on the old translation, so some of the stuff is really hard to notice. Like, some of the options have different names and stuff, so it's hard to really cross-reference for it. Okay, that was an unnecessary action, so let's roll back that. Because we want to get the most out of our time while we're here. Oh god damn it, I clearly clicked the next room, oh well. Okay, and now we can do the sky wheel here. I think that should be fine here. Oops, did not mean to double save there. And we arrived at the cafeteria. Hang on a second, that's my bad, I completely skipped that. I honestly was not expecting the dialogue there. A duckish stuffed doll leans against the wall lifelessly next to the machine. Someone probably forgot to take their hard-earned souvenir with them. After a quick scan of the rest of the surroundings, however, you notice that something's off with the doll. Strangely, its previous standing posture has been changed to a fleeing one, like it's ready to set off in the next second. Time slips away noiselessly as the creature stays paralyzed by your deadly gaze. You somehow sense a tint of artificialness in its calm facade. You close the gap and pinch the creature by its short neck without any warning. In a desperate struggle, its webbed feet kick in the air. Boy, dang it, stinky Oh no, it's British. Oi, get your stinky hands off of me. Holy moly, the duck's talking. I ain't no duck, I tell ya. The duck boldly rebukes your words, but soon softens its tone as it understands who's got the upper hand in the fight. Care to put me down first, mate? Then we can have a nice little talk. You hesitate to let go of the suspicious ball of feathers. Its appearance might be a disguise. Call me out lucky, though this place could use some trade, so I'm here. You don't reply. Silence is the best weapon. I'm giving you the bloody truth, now get me back to the ground so I can show ya. Ouch, you're getting my feathers. Your imagination fails to link the way this creature flutters its chubby wings with the culprit behind all these disasters. Having landed back on solid ground, it soothes the back of its neglectable neck with its feathers and grumbles. Bloody-o, look where you done to this beautiful down. He eyes you with grievance as if stimulated by the sense of smell of something on you. The doll suddenly closes the gap and takes some deep sniffs around you. And the next second, you see the doll enlarges itself into half the size of a human. Still refusing to lay your guard down, you take a step back and examine the strange creature from a distance. It tightens its displaced Panama hat and bow knot before clearing its throat with a few coughs, completely ignoring your cold eyes. You bear the counting your lucky stars now, mate, cause standing in front of you is none other than the boss of out-trading itself. I pick my patrons and I'm feeling generous today. He speaks not even a word of complaint now, but only cliches you'd expect from a salesman. What are you selling? His eyes sparkle as he shows your interest in his wares. After some rummaging inside his bag, Oh Lucky whips out a ragged blanket and spreads it before him. You then see he weighs out all his trinkets in front of you. He completes it with a tarnished wooden board in front that scribble on it barely intelligible. All trading. Judging from the duck footprint next to the writing, this whole doodle must be the logo of his company. All trading? More like stall trading. The yellow bow knot of his sticks to his chest, swells with pride. I don't think any trade company would have any one-of-a-kind products available on their list. If I'm being honest with you, mate, I've got too many trinkets with me that I can hardly tell which one's which. So? That's where I came up with the right idea. Why give the name tags a lot when you can sell whatever they are? Nothing but goodies, mind ya. You always get more than you pay for. His wicked eyes blink at you, sending a message that it'll be a loss of your own should you let the opportunity slip away. What is the price? Just 3 star stones and the box is yours. You can find these stones everywhere in the park. In a sleight of hand, he whips out a sparkling stone into his hand, then returns it to his bag before you can take a closer look at it. You take a brief glance at the array of goods on the blanket, all crudely identical, yet somehow shrouded in an array of mystery, or of mystery. Unlucky stands aside with his hands folded behind him. Well, that was certainly something there. I wonder if I can kill him here. He claims to be an otherworldly merchant. Your instincts of an investigator wants you to find out if he really has what it takes. What's the game? Slide in Yahoo? Away? I don't understand British slang. White flag, I give up. The exchange of blows has proved to you that O'Lucky isn't one built for battle. The poor merchant is now huddling on the ground with his feathered hands pressing against his hat, trembling. It seems the stuck named O'Lucky is just an average merchant who runs a stand, not some evil mastermind. How disappointing. As he ponders over the duck's identity, he drags himself closer with that expression of his showing reluctance. What, bothered by the prices? Why didn't you tell me that? I ain't see no reason to force your hand. 1 starstone for a box, how's that? I can go broke easily with that price. Instead of having those shining stones rot inside your pocket, perhaps you can try your luck here. After all, you have no real use for them. Could I choose 10 roll rather than open them one by one? There ain't no pity here, so I don't see why you'd fancy a 10 roll. O'Lucky picks up one of the boxes with the exact same look, gives its side a knock with one of his feathered fingers, and raises it to his ear. This is it. O'Lucky never lies. O'Lucky passes you a box after taking your payment. Inside it you find a cookie in strange shape. Found it on a bridge. The name's Crying Abyss or something. Anyway, it looks like goat fodder, so do me a favor and try it out for me. A gift from me nomadic mate. Said he ain't stomach the sound, so you let me have it. A bag of milk powder and an intoxicating aroma. There you go. Opicanopia. Soy milk powder is absolutely disgusting, gross. Oh, and here's a little bonus for ya. A salad duck egg from one of me 3-dimensional mates. Look, I've been an honest businessman, have I? So how about you become my VIP for the low cost of a few extra stones? What do you say? We see more than a dozen of salted duck eggs piled neatly inside the bag as O'Lucky opens it. He takes one, then gives you half of it. Let's keep gambling. a hood in the shape of a banana. Can't say I've a fancy story with this one. All I can tell you is 'twas some weepy kitten's costume. Oh my god, it's a banana cat. That's actually funny. A sparkling orb, you jammy dog. Just give it a nice throw when you see those geezers. Gotta catch 'em all. Hey, count me out. Interesting. A branch or something like that. Check this out, a gift from one of me mates who runs a fruit stand back on the aisle. Too bad he got looked by the stocks and lost all his dough. Got kicked out by his Tanuki landlord. A bottle of golden wine. Bullseye, the golden meat in your hand is something else, I tell ya. You've been a real nice patron. Take this electronics water. A lucky murmurs as he searches in his bag and with his back against you. Bloody hell, what good the shits when I ain't selling 'em? Might as well send 'em off. Especially treat for your mate. Keep it safe from other investigators if you know what I'm talking about. That was me last one, no more bosses before I restock. Ever heard of all VIP? Just a few stones and you'll be my most respected patron. Alright, and let's move on to the manor now, I guess. So we still got quite a bit of time until it's dusk here. And we've made really good progress this time, I believe. But unfortunately, that's where we're gonna call it for today's video. Quite a bit of gambling today, but you know, that's just how it is. Anyway, that's where we're gonna end today's video of depersonalization. If you made it this far, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!